Welcome back, family, to the ServantReel. I'm your host, the Servant King, Don Cello, and y'all know how we do, man. We talk to the influencers, the entrepreneurs, the culture shifters, different people out in the world making the change in society. And today, I got a special guest, Miss Karisia Boston, entrepreneur, life coach. She got a lot of different things going on that we're going to tap into today. So thank you for joining me today, Miss Karisia.
You're welcome.
How you doing?
I'm fine. And yourself?
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
So when I first ran into you, I could see that you're a business owner.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the first things I seen was you have a organization called the 20-Step Corporation.
Right.
Kind of talk about what you guys do over there.
With the 20 Steps Corporation, it's a third-party call center. So I'm really a third party. So I just hire people to work for different companies, such as you got T-Mobile, you have Giro, you have different call center companies that I just hire people to work for.
So what even got you in, like, nobody would even think to go that route as far as business? What even got you into that particular business?
Well, honestly, I'm gonna be really, really honest. So what happened was I was a correctional officer.
Okay.
And when I initially became a correctional officer, I had this thing where I'm going to help the world,
Right.
you know.
Right.
That's not the route to go if that's what you're trying to do.
Okay.
So once I discovered that, and then, I'm be honest, they back at me.
Okay.
It was off default.
Okay.
Right. However, it was necessary, and I'm going to tell you how all of this that I'm doing ties into that eventually. And I was pregnant with my daughter, and I couldn't deliver like they wanted me to at the time. So it was kind of like, I'm going to do things to get you fired kind of thing. So once I, realized that, it was like, okay, God, because I'm going to relate all this stuff back to God.
Absolutely.
I don't know about nobody else, but this is what I do.
Tell your story.
Okay. So I was like, okay, God, before something happened, I need you to tell me what I need to be doing. So a friend of mine was like, hey, I know this girl that's hiring or whatever. So I get on the portal with her, and once I realized I can do it myself, I wasn't shady about it. I honestly told her, I said, hey, I've noticed that I can do it by myself, and I think that's something I would like to try. Okay. And she was like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah, I just felt like I should let you know because I came in under you. But because I know that I can do it myself, I want to try to do that.
Absolutely.
And she was like, well, I respect that. And we still kind of talk here and there or whatever, and it just went from there. And I legitly took it to another level because people don't, from what I've studied, they just, like family, friends, and I took it to like
everybody.
Yeah. I took it to another level. And then what happened with that was they don't get paid during training.
Oh man.
So I had to pivot and find another route. So although it's hard to keep people when they're not getting paid during training, but you still have some that are elders.
Okay, so they kind of willing to wait.
They can wait the process. And you have some people that they're younger. They have bills. They have children. They need the money.
Right.
So it went from that to I was sitting in my bed, and in the process of the call center, I wrote a journal called Moving into Greater Heights. Yeah. Now, what happened with that was, God woke me up at 4 o'clock in the morning and said, hey, write a journal. And I was like, write a journal? What I'm finna put in a journal? Right. So it took me about 4 or 5 months to get it out. Okay. And I did nothing with it. I posted it, but I did nothing with it. Right. So when it was time for me to pivot back to that part, God was like, I was sitting in my bed again, but with my journal, I was asleep. But this time, I was literally sitting in my bed thinking. And God was like, change your content. Because behind the time I put the book out in February, but I got my life coaching certification in February too. Okay. Right? And at this time, I'm literally just doing stuff. Right. So
right. Just moving.
I'm literally just doing stuff. And at this point, I use my life as content. Right. And that's more where I'm passionate at and more purpose filled. And I think, because I honestly started doing business in 2016. Okay. So what I believe is that God only was setting me up to what my purpose was initially for. Right. And that's pretty much like what happened. And then I got into life coaching, did the same thing, took it to a new dimension, started going to school for it and everything like that. And I pushed my journal with it. Right. And then, I had the mental health events too, which I'm create a marathon of that.
Okay. So the journal, was that something, when you say God spoke to you about writing it, was there ever a time in life, though, that you thought about doing a journal before? Or this is something that was just brand new to you, period? Like, you never even thought about it?
Brand spanking new. Right. Brand spanking new.
How important is that for God, when God tell you to do something, regardless if you got knowledge of it or not, you got to do it. You know what I'm saying?
And it's funny that you said that, because it's self-published.
All right. Oh, so you did everything.
Yeah, it's self-published. So the reason why, well, part of the reason, not the reason why, but part of the reason why it took me so long to really push it out is because I was like, dang, what if I didn't write something right? Right. What if my punctuation is not right?
Trying like to make sure it's perfect.
Yeah, and that's not what God wanted me to do. He wanted me to just do it, and He was going to do the rest with it. Right. Because once it's out there and people got a hold of it, I get messages daily.
Wow. Okay.
About my journal and how the things that they write into it manifests, how my stories is more relatable to them, so they feel like we have something in common, like things like that. So it just opened up doors for life coaching.
Absolutely. You said that's kind of where your heart is, like you really feel like you live in your purpose.
Yes, I do, and I'm happy with it.
Absolutely. Talk about that, like that, being in that position, because I'm pretty sure when people messaging you and telling you all the time how inspiring it is, like it's got to be a weight on you. Like, these people really look for me to inspire them. Maybe just give them a quote day to day. Like, what is it that like touches your heart in that field that you're doing?
I think it's everything. I think it's everything. It's from the people to the actual, like, you really helped me. Like, it's really helped me change my life. Right. Like, I stopped doing this because of you said this in the journal. Right. And even with life coaching, I'm very honest and open about myself too. So I don't make them feel like they the only one in the world have this problem. Right.
You kind of open and raw with them.
I'm very transparent. And even with the mental health events, I'm open with that too. So instead of everybody sit here and I stand here and I talk to you, I'm with you. So I'm sitting at the table with you. I'm talking. We all together. We all interacting. We all playing the games. Y'all gonna know my faults and flaws. Y'all gonna know the things that I'm still dealing with too right now. You get what I'm saying? Because what I've learned is it don't matter the status of a person that you think that they're on. It don't matter how much money you think a person have. Everybody is still trying to figure it out.
Right, absolutely.
And what I've realized is that, and this is, I ain't gonna say everybody, but the majority. And what I realized is that everything that we are searching for is inside of us.
Mm-hmm. Already there.
It's already there.
Already there.
And that's why I'm so happy with it. And I was listening to a motivational speech. I listen to them all the time in the morning. And I want to say this was The Rock that said this, but I'm not sure. And it said, your true value is how much more you give in value than you take in payment.
Right. Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
So I believe that this is what God told me to do. I don't care what it look like right now. I'm going to push it, and I'm going to push it, and I'm going to push it until my time.
Right. I can see you love helping people.
I do. I like the actual outcome, though.
Right.
I like the, yeah. Right. I do. I really do. And then it's just like, God, you chose me to do this. Right. Like, I had a few people that say, well, God told me to come to you for this. God, you telling people about me? Like that.
So
yeah.
the mental health events, let's break those down.
Okay.
And kind of go into what's your goal with these events, right? And what people are you trying to touch, and what avenue are you trying to tap in when you put these events together? Because mental health now is a big topic. It's a big issue.
It's a big issue.
That a lot of people are speaking on. You being one of the people that's trying to kind of move the ball forward by doing things. Not just talking about it, actually doing things that involve these situations. So, kind of talk about the goal with your mental health event.
Okay, so you know how that statement, "If you won't change, you be the change." Mm-hmm. That's the first one, and then mental health has always been a problem.
Right.
We just never talked about it.
Right.
Everything was always swept under the rug.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because the rug is so big, people are killing themselves, people are killing their families. This stuff been going on for decades.
Yeah, right.
But now that we have more access to things from via your phone, the internet, than we did back then, we know more. Right. We can talk about it. We can speak on it. And then, truthfully, it's like, I don't know about you, but in the community that I grew up in, something had to be wrong with you. Right. Literally, something really is wrong with you to go and get help. Right. So you suppressing your feelings, you suppressing your emotions.
Never talking about
it. Right. Yeah. So, I think that's it. And not only that, I've dealt with it myself.
Okay. So it's a personal issue.
It's very personal.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It's very, very, very personal. And have you ever had someone tell you, like, you going through a situation, you tell it to somebody, you ain't even got your feet wet yet, or I know it ain't hurt that bad, or it ain't that big, but it's that big to you.
To you, right.
Right?
Right. So somebody else is minimizing my pain.
Your pain, when just because it didn't hurt me as bad, don't mean that it don't affect you as bad.
Absolutely.
So my goal, honestly, is I want to get in the minds of people. First and foremost, I want to know what you're thinking. Okay. Because I don't know if you read the book, The Secret.
Yeah, The Secret, absolutely.
Okay, so you know that it talks about the mind a lot. And, like, literally, the brain controls the body, tells your arms and feet to move, things like that. But
everything is in the mind.
Everything is in the mind. I had a doctor even tell me when I was having surgery with, I have cesareans with my children, and he told me that they don't have surgery on patients when they're in a bad mental state. Okay. They wait till they're in a better mental state to have surgery on them. Wow. Would let you know that your mind literally is everything. It's everything. You can lose everything in verbal. Your mind is not one of them that you can lose. Like that's not one thing you should be willing to lose. Right. You know.
You should be trying all your best to fight for
that.
Wow.
So like I told you, I was baker at it. So once I went to the mental institution, it was this guy sitting there. Mind you, I'm balling out crying because I ain't supposed to be here. Right. I want to go home. They got me locked up in photos. Looking like a fish. I want to go home. I don't want to be here. I'm trying to call my mama. I've been there for I think I was there for 5 or 6 hours. They hadn't called nobody. You know, I don't know what's going on with my children. They getting out of school. It's like, I want to go home. And it was a guy that was in there in the other room, but they got like little holes through the walls and stuff. And he was saying, I ain't crazy, but and I keep trying to tell him I'm crazy. I'm not. He said, I keep trying to tell them I'm not crazy, but they making me crazy. It's the medicine that they're giving them.
Right. Wow.
I think that everybody have gifts. And I think that because they can't control it, they use them in other ways.
So almost like suppressing one thing, but it's coming out
in another way,
in a different action. Wow. Okay. So talk about the mind, like how when you're talking to the people that reach out to you, what's some of the things that you tell them about their mind to keep it at peace? Because we go through so much out here, and there's so many things that happen day to day that could keep your mind worried about stuff that might not even be a problem, right? So how do you help people stay focused and keep their mind at peace?
I'm glad you said that we worry about things that might not even be a problem.
Right.
We really stress our stuff out about things that are not true.
Right.
And the reason why I said it is because we're stressing ourselves out about something that has not even occurred yet.
Right. We're thinking about it. Yeah. It ain't even happened.
Yeah. We do that as humans.
Yep.
And me by nature, like, I'm a proactive type of person. Okay. So when I don't see the ending results of this, I have a problem.
Okay.
Right? So you'll stress yourself out. And that's when I learned, like, what you worried about? Right. Be present. And I would hear that a lot, right? In meditation. Right. When I'm meditating, it's be present, be now. And it's like, what do it mean by be present, be now? No,
stop worrying about tomorrow.
Tomorrow don't matter. The Bible even tell you tomorrow don't matter.
Right.
Tomorrow eventually turn into yesterday.
Right.
It don't matter. Right. So be present. It's present moment. Like right now, what are your problems? Right. Not what's getting ready to happen. Right. Not what's due on the 12th. Right. Not what's due on the 31st. Right. Not you got to move next month or the month after.
Right. What's
in this present moment, what is happening? Right. What bad has happened to you?
Absolutely. Wow. Yeah.
So.
And I think that's that's probably one of our biggest problems just as humans, because especially when it comes to bills. If you got kids and you got a house, you more worried about bills. Like, and everything you said, you have to start living for now, because you will get caught up living by the month.
Yeah.
Like, oh, man, I got to have this by the 16th. I got to have it. And next thing you know, it's
I would say, so people won't misinterpret that, what you said, you prepare for the future, but you live in the present.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm going to save my money for the future, because of things that I want and I desire. Right. But I'm going to be present and be now, because I'm not finna stress myself out about something else.
Can't even control.
That I can't control. Right. I can't do nothing about, and it ain't even happened yet. Right. And you ever notice, have one of these situations happen? I know they happen several times to me. You got a bill due. Right. You know how you finna pay it. You don't stress yourself out to boom. Right. And then the day before, a couple hours before, it's paid.
It's paid.
So what you said? So
you did all that stressing for nothing, and it got paid.
Right. It got paid.
It's crazy you say that, because I was trying to explain to somebody the same thing, but even on the other hand, like, let's say you don't pay the bill. You ain't dead. Like, you alive. You still got the chance to do whatever it takes
need to do
to pay the bill. And even if you don't, if they take the car, you can still get another car. If they take the house, you can still get another house. It's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world, but it also may have been out of your season.
It wasn't supposed to happen in the first place.
It wasn't supposed to happen. See, people don't like look at things like that. I was forced to.
Right. Yeah. Life will put you in them situations where you got to look at it.
To look at it like that. I never forget. My car got repossessed in 2015, I think. And I walked outside. I looked. I went back in the house and lay down.
Right. Because it's gone. What you want me to do? It's gone. Absolutely.
And my kid's auntie was there at the time, and she was like, you acting like your car is outside. Like, yeah. What I'm going to do about it?
What I'm going to do?
It's nothing I can do that they took my car. Right. It's nothing I can do about it. So, yeah, I was forced. I've dealt with a lot. I married early. I had children early. I basically lived the older life early. I haven't, I've been out, but I haven't really given myself a chance to, like, live a younger life. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So,
you've had, like, a lot of responsibilities early.
Early on. So I was pretty much forced into that position. And even now, I have to retrain my mind and my body because that's another thing, too. Your body responds to what it's used to. So when you know something, like we was talking about bills, with the knowledge that I know, if that type of situation was to happen, my body naturally reacts the way that it used to acting. Right? So I have to redirect my mind and the thoughts that's crossing my mind because that's not the life I live no more.
Right.
Like,
It's trying to take you back.
Yeah.
But you gotta force it.
Yeah.
Like, nah, boss.
I don't live like that no more.
That's
not the life I live.
Them days is over.
Yes.
Man, talk about some of the common things you hear when talking to patients or talking to clients. Right? Is there like a familiar term or there a familiar situation that you hear from people and you like, man?
Validation.
Really? People looking
I need to be approved by you.
Right.
Before I do anything.
Right.
I need likes, I need comments before I do anything.
So do you think
before I pursue it?
So you think social media is a
big part? It's a big factor. I don't care what nobody say. Nobody's gonna tell me that it's not.
Really?
Because if Facebook wasn't a big factor, why you have to get off Facebook to get your life together?
Right. Oh my God. You have to really detach from these social media. If you really want to focus, you got to put your phone down.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. It's play a major factor. I think that the millennium that we in, you got to get other people's approval to do things, or you don't feel like you worth nothing. Right. Not me.
And you know what's crazy? I don't know how old you is, but
I'm 28.
Okay, so you early 90s. I'm late 80s, 89. But we grew up in a time where we got to see like both sides. Like,
yeah,
we
definitely.
Seen it before there was a social media, but now we see that it is one, right? And it's like we trying to balance that because we know that life ain't really lived on this platform, but so much of life is nowadays.
Yes,
because people date on it, people start businesses. You know what I mean?
Right.
So how do you talk to people when living in such an age where social media is so important? Like how are you able to explain to them how to kind of detach or maybe fast consecrate themselves from these different avenues that's stressing them out?
It depends on the person. It depends on what their thought process, because everybody's thought process is different. I think the common ground is validation, but every thought process is different, right? So it depends on the purpose. My, like I said, I try to get into the mind and let them know how powerful that your brain is. First, before we get into anything, we go into your mind. What are you doing on a day-to-day basis?
Right.
That first. And then when we go into validation, I don't really get so much into social media, but I wanted them to understand that you don't need to have validation from a person.
Right.
Because if I needed validation from nobody but God, honestly, I don't need you to tell me that I can make a post or I can get this certain kind of hair or I can get these certain kind of clothes. I don't need you to tell me that because I'm going to do what I want to do, how I want to do it. So the only person that I need validation from is God. Because like I told you, even if I want an entrepreneurship, a lot of people told me that, and I would say a lot. I say about at least, and a lot to me is 6 or 7 because I deal with a lot of people on a day-to-day basis. So they told me that that's probably not something I should do, and like leave my job. And at the time I had 5 children, getting ready to have my 6th child. Like that's not a good decision. I made it consistently. A year and a half now. You know, without a job.
Absolutely. Wow.
So if I needed other people validation and not God telling me something I need to do, I'd have still been working and miserable because I'm not living in my purpose.
Absolutely. Whoa. That's real. Okay, so do this. Before you go, I want you to talk to somebody.
Oh, this one hard.
Yeah. Talk to somebody who they battling a lot, right? They going to work every day. They hate their job. They're hating their life as a whole, right? They're looking up, maybe they 30, 35, saying, I thought I was going to be doing this by this age, and I was supposed to have this by this age. So now they're stressed. Now they're dealing with their own mental issues because of Maybe it's lack of validation. Maybe they just want some support. Some people just want support. They're not getting support. But they don't have anybody to talk to. All they have is themselves. Talk to that person and let them know what they should do.
Well, because I'm not actually talking to a person, it's kind of hard. But I would say that you're never alone. Even when you feel like you're alone, you're never really alone. You always have somebody to talk to. And that would be God himself. Like, me personally, and put myself in that situation, what I would do. First and foremost, I would pray.
Okay, first and foremost.
I would pray. I would ask God, what is my next move? And in that point, it's not really so much of your next move to think about it. It's more so of, what am I supposed to be doing? So really, the real question is, what do you do effortlessly? What can you do effortlessly, something that you was given as a child? For me, for instance, I talk a lot. I'm good with that.
Right.
So
what can I do that allows me to talk a lot?
Exactly.
Right.
So what do you do? What can you do effortlessly that could bring you income, but it also have to have purpose and passion behind it? Because if you don't have a why, it's going to get hard.
Yeah. And you ain't going to want to do it no more.
You're not going to want to do it no more.
Yeah, it ain't going to be enough.
If you're chasing after money, you're going to be running in circles.
You said something now.
You're running in circles. Yeah. It's passion and purpose. You give the purpose passion and you push it.
And the money will follow you then, though.
Yeah, the money will come right on in you.
Yeah.
Right, it just fall right in your pocket.
The money going to come to you. If you chasing that, the money going to chase you. That's real. That's real talk. So, give them, man, we need to know any website, numbers, email, anywhere that people could reach you who either want to buy a journal. Maybe they want to be coached by you. Maybe they need some kind of help. Tell them where they can find you, man. Tell them everything. Okay,
well, you can find me on Facebook. My name is Master Life Coach Karisia. Then my business page is 20steps_corp. So is my Instagram, the same name, 20 steps with the S _corp. A contact number, my business line is 904-365-1601. I get calls all day. So if I don't answer, leave a message, send a text message. And you can also visit my website for a free consultation. It says 15 minutes, but I've never had a consultation that lasted 15 minutes. Usually like an hour or so.
Right.
So you can get, but my website is www.masterlifecoachkarisia.org. So that's it.
Oh, man. Well, I sure appreciate you coming through. We've been working on this thing for a
long time.
Well, I'm glad we can finally have this conversation. And hopefully anybody who's watching, man, maybe you need some help with something. Maybe you've been kind of back and forth, don't know which way to go. Hopefully Ms. Karisia just helped you out. We're going to have her contact information, her website, any way that you can contact her right here on the bottom of the screen. Thank you again for joining me.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And hopefully we can have you back. And we can, because I think mental health is such a big topic now that we can't just touch on it one time.
And I'm going to school for it too. And I learned going to school is like the more you learn, the less you knew. Man. So I'm pretty sure when I come back, I'll come back with more information.
And we like, I ain't know that.
Yeah.
Just when you think you know everything. You know what I'm saying? Like you find out you don't. So again, y'all, like always, we'll be back next week. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Bye, y'all.